guys, welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to talk about some bomb-proof winter gear that I think every prepper or anybody that goes outside in cold weather should own. Now, I know a lot of my viewers do live in the south where it gets cold. You know, it gets down really nippy in the 60s in the winter. But there are chances of weird weather patterns happening, and you know, there's cases in the not too far off past that like places that normally stay pretty warm, like Florida, Arizona, Texas, like a lot of the southern kind of coastal states, they'll get some crazy weather patterns. So like one day it might be 60, 70 degrees full sun, and then it will be like 20 or 30 degrees and blizzard. And are those like life or death events? Probably not. But the thing is, you might as well be prepared as possible for just any contingency or any small variations of normal. So is this like the most high-tech, versatile, high efficiency, most modern clothing? No, it's not. I'll just speak the truth here. So about 90%, 95% of my whole life I've lived in a cold climate. For example, right now outside it's about -10. It's full sun. It's about 2 in the afternoon, but it's -10 with wind blowing. So with a wind chill, it's about -20 or so, full sun, and we're just into the beginning parts of winter. As I film this, I want to say it's about December 14th. So I know a little bit about cold weather clothing, you could say, and I've tried everything, most everything. I've tried high-tech hats, those thermal exchange balaclavas, the different gloves with super high insulation that are supposed to keep your hands warm down to -40 degrees and all that BS, and boots that are supposed to keep your, and don't follow those temperature guides. They're inaccurate. So today's video we're going to only talk about 2 items. Are these like the only things you should own or buy or whatever? No. So let's just get to the meat and the potatoes. So the first product, do that second. So the first product are at least one pair of insulated leather gloves. So why do I recommend leather gloves? I believe these are deer skin or goat skin. They're more durable, frankly. They're heavier duty. They don't wear out. They will eventually, but they just last longer. They look nicer. They're more attuned to working around fires or hot engines and machinery and stuff like that. They don't like to really melt. They can burn, they can dry up and stuff like that. There are a couple downsides. They're not really waterproof. There's ways around that. And that's about it. Leather's durable and stuff like that. So I have a pair of insulated leather gloves right here, and I also do have a pair of Mechanics Winter Impact Pro. So these are insulated with 3M Thinsulate, I believe only 40 or 80 grams. These gloves over here are insulated with 100 grams of Thinsulate. Now these gloves are just fine. They do have a little bit of dexterity. They do fit a little bit better, but they're not as warm. But again, what you want to look for is gloves designed for work, like work gloves, insulated work gloves. Are they going to be warmer than a pair of high-tech mittens, like ski mittens or snowmobile mittens? They won't be. But I like gloves designed for working that are insulated for a couple of reasons. First, if they're designed for working, they'll be designed so you can wear them while doing tasks. So I have some pair of those, probably 5 different pair of like big choppers that are heavily insulated. They keep all your fingers together, so they do keep your hands very, very warm and I also bought them oversized so I can slip them on top of these gloves. But the problem is, while keeping your hands warm, they don't allow you to do a lot of tasks. So basic stuff like, yeah, you can drive in them, yeah, you can, like, operate, four-wheelers and stuff like that, but it's, in my opinion and in my experience, it is kind of dangerous to for example, split firewood, or like use an axe, or use a chainsaw, or operate different machinery, because you don't have enough dexterity, and it's super easy for the glove to get caught up in a control mechanism and have the machine going while you don't want it to go, and possibly it could injure or kill you. So that's why I like gloves designed around workwear, work gloves. The other thing, as you can see, these have a lot of wear. I don't know exactly how old. Another thing when buying them though, I bought these at Menards for $15 or something like that. They weren't expensive that much. I've owned gloves, especially leather gloves, ranging from $5 or less all the way to, I think the most expensive pair was about $60. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see that much of a difference. So you can get $10 pair of gloves for the price of one $60. Get the cheaper ones. They might wear out a little quicker. They might not be as comfortable, and stuff like that. But like I said, I've bought expensive pair of gloves, leather, like work gloves, insulated and uninsulated, and they didn't offer me more protection. They didn't really offer me that much more comfort. Their fitment was a little bit better, but nothing to write home about. And all my gloves seem to wear out kind of in the same time frame. So when it comes to this, I do kind of recommend quantity over quality. I also recommend trying to buy your gloves at the store. The reason why is, first, you can fit them. You want them pretty loose. And then the second thing, you can inspect for the stitching problems and stuff like that. So I bought a couple pair off Amazon, and like I get them and there's missing stitching, and there's stitching pulling out and stuff like that. And I do have some of that on this one, as you can see, just random here and there, but this is after a lot of wear. They were just fine when I bought them. Like I said, these maybe 6 months old. I wear them for everything, and the fingers are worn out a little bit and whatnot, but they're warm. And then another trick that I do is I have a thin pair of gloves. So these are touch, so you can use a cell phone with them. They're made by Mountain Hardwear, and they're not that warm, but they're just another layer. So I buy my work gloves and leather insulated gloves oversized, so I can put this pair of gloves and then this pair of gloves. Real quick, I want to talk about like insulated versus not insulated. For year-round use, outdoor work, a little bit of background. I work outside, 80 to 100 hours, I work outside anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week. Outside in temperatures like the max in the summertime around 90, 95 degrees. Full sun and stuff like that, and I always wear insulated gloves. Personally, in my opinion, my hands don't sweat. Yours might sweat. My hands are so calloused over that either the sweat pores are blocked, or I don't have sweat pores there, but my hands don't sweat. They're not uncomfortable. The other thing they offer you is more padding and protection if you're using machinery and it's like vibrating, stuff like that. The other thing they offer you is working around high heat, whether it's fire, machinery, chainsaws, anything that will put off a lot of heat and you could possibly burn yourself. That insulation protects you from the high heat. A lot of people think it protects you from cold weather, which it does, but it also insulates you from sudden high heat. So they offer your hands multiple levels of protection, not only from cuts and scrapes and stuff like that, but also from high heat and from cold. But like I said, I would just get insulated gloves and wear them year round. They might feel a little weird at first. Once you wear them a couple hours, they'll break in and they'll feel really nice. So number one, at least one pair, but I'd recommend 10 pair or something like that of leather insulated work gloves for each member of your family, even including your kids. So the second piece that I'm going to talk about is the Mad Bomber hat. Now, I'm not sure regionally or like nationwide how popular these are. In the South, you probably never see them. Who knows? At least I never did. But these offer you many advantages. First, personal opinion, some people might not think they look stylish. I think they look kind of cool. The fur and stuff like that, I think they look pretty cool. Second, this protects you from a lot of wind burn. So wind burn is when you have, gale force or like really strong winds blowing up really dry snow. Dry snow means like when it's cold, 10 degrees, 0 degrees, and in negative. The snow is technically not like water or wet. It's really dry, so it's like a really, really fine sandpaper. So if you got a lot of wind blowing and that snow is coming and sweeping across your face, it will over time not only pull moisture from your skin or from your face, especially your cheeks, but it will pull moisture from your skin. It'll be cold and it will be abrasive. So the mixture combined is what's called like wind burn. So I've gotten it a couple times to the point where like it felt like my face would have been bleeding, but my cheeks were so cold that it was like the blood was too thick or something to bleed, but it really felt like I had like blood running down my face, like scratches and stuff like that. And then like not only that, but if your face and your cheeks are like totally frozen, yeah, not a situation you want to get into. The other thing it offers is not only with the blowing snow, but if this does get a little wet or sweat and stuff, this fur will soak the sweat up. So it is sort of a downside. But once this gets wet, once the fur gets wet, it does lose a little insulation. But as the wind's blowing and the cold weather's around, it freezes. And once it freezes up, all that moisture is at the tips of this fur. And you just take it off, go like that, and you brush the moisture off, which it's not water anymore, it's like ice or frost. So it dries rather quickly. The other advantage this offers is a lot of people wear those like skiing beanies. They're skin tight. They look all sleek and sexy, right? The problem with those is a lot of people, they don't care about their head getting cold. Their main problem is their ears. Their ears getting cold. The problem with those skin tight beanies is they stay on your head, they stay where you want them to stay, and they look really sleek and all that stuff. And like say you're snowmobiling, that way you don't have, like if you have long hair, you don't have your hair going all crazy. But the problem about those is they're so tight that they compress your ears against your skull, which compresses, even though your ears are mainly just like cartilage with some capillaries, they compress and they cut off like 80 to 90% of circulation. The majority of circulation of blood cycling through your ears. That's like what circulation is. So the problem you run into is, yes, they're insulated, but because they're being cut off, blood is like kind of path-least resistant. So if blood needs a lot of, or meets a lot of resistance trying to flow through a body part, your ears in this example, it won't flow there. So that's why even though they're covered, your ears will still get cold very quickly. The advantage of this is it's tight around like a headband. Not tight, but it's snug, so it stays in place. But as you can see, my ears are right here. These flaps cover your ears very loosely. So my ears are fully the opposite of compressed. So my ears are decompressed or uncompressed, but there's a thick piece of fur on top of them covering them. And because it's looser, it offers more insulative properties. The other thing, as you can see, comes down, covers a lot of your cheeks from side winds. It covers your neck pretty good, and then when you have a jacket with a high collar, protects you pretty good. You might still use a neck gaiter. Again, another piece of bomb-proof. It's made by Mad Bomber. I'll leave a link below. Right now, they're actually running a sale. Like this model is $29, and if you order $50, you get free shipping. A pretty good deal. They never seem to break. Is the other advantage. So I wear this every winter, and as you can see, there's some corrosion right there, but it's not like this strop's coming undone. There's some salt particulates and a little abrasion, but like it's nowhere near the end of its life. You know, there's some people that have had one of these for 40 years, 30 years and stuff like that, and they still wear them. So like, in my opinion, for $30, you're getting all this natural fur. It's rabbit fur. This is like, I think nylon, cotton nylon. I think it's nylon, a thick nylon. And there's different models like leather and stuff like that, more fancy ones and cheaper ones. They make them in kid sizes too. So if you got kids, I would buy some for them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with beanies, but what I am saying is these for cold weather are a lot better for the reasons I stated. Plus, there's numerous other advantages I'm not going to get into. I think $20, $30 for something that could possibly save your life. Plus, they look fancy. Plus, they're really cool. They're long lasting. Hope you guys like this video. Again, if you're a new subscriber, go back to my homepage, watch some of my current videos. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it on your other social media sites and leave a comment below. And we'll catch you on the next video. Stay warm out there.